Hello, my name is Alfonso Hinton, and I would like to discuss with you a conversation I had with a friend of mine, and we was talking about looking at people's problems from the inside out instead of outside in. You know, a lot of times when we overcome our challenges, when we look in the mirror, we can only see the finished product, or what we think is the finished product of what we become and not what we were. So I think somewhere in there we may lose our compassion for someone that's going through the same thing or something worse than what we're going through. So we were just talking about a friend of ours when, he's going through some major things, and in the discussion, the guy was saying, well, people always come to me saying, man, you need to stop, you need to do this, they're going the wrong way. He was like, I already know that. He said, well, when is somebody gonna tell me what they did to get through, or give me some advice to change my way of thinking. He said, like, I'm a grown man, and I know right from wrong, I know what I'm doing, but actually, he's kind of hooked on drugs, and he said he can't quit. But then somebody who's been on drugs, they tell him how crazy he is, and he better stop, he needs to stop, he ought to stop. And he was like, well, if they was on drugs, why don't they tell me what they did to get off? And he was like, I know it's basically my decision, but when he was on it, he knew how hard it was. But then now that, he's not on it anymore, he's looking down at the guy. So I think somewhere in there, we lose focus and forget where we come from, and the challenge that we have to overcome to get where we are. So we start talking about, coming up with encouraging ways to tell him how it could better his life, or how much money he could save, or how much more his family would come together if he would stop these things. And sure, he's grown, and sure, he should know this, but we gotta start having compassion for our brothers, our sisters, or our friends, our family members, or whoever, and not just look at the outside of them, but look at the fact that we're not perfect. We do things, we've done things, but now we look in the mirror, we put on our suits, our ties, get our haircuts, and go looking good. We feel like we've arrived. So, I think somewhere in there we should start, refocusing. I know, I try not to, look down on anyone, because everybody got their road to travel, their race to run, their path to follow, whatever the case may be. So who am I to look at them just because they're not doing as well as I am, or they're doing things contrary to what I believe they should be doing. So instead of me looking at them, and I listen to them. Sometimes people just need somebody to listen, when they're going through things. You can tell them what's wrong, but they already know. But just listen. They're like, man, what's going on? What's causing you to want to do this? Is something going on real bad that got you stressed out, or hey, I'm here to talk to you. And let them know that when they talk to you, it's in confidence. They don't have to let anybody worry about anybody talking about it, or hearing it in the street. But that's some reason why a lot of people don't talk to people about their problems, because they know as soon as they talk to one, it's going to get to this one, that one, and the other one. So we have to build some type of confidence relationship. Even our young people out on the streets, they belong to somebody. They're in somebody's family. So why not just call them up and give them a encouraging word? Say, man, when I was your age, I was out there in the streets, man, and now that I look back, I realized I gained that. And just let them know, if you knew then what you know now, you would have made a lot of change in your life. I think that's what people need to hear now, not what they're doing wrong, but the positive things that could come out of changing their minds, changing their lives. How could it affect their lives in a positive way? Give them something to stand on. Because like I said, a person knows what they're doing wrong. So they don't need to hear it. They need to hear what they can do to make it right. And I encourage you, and myself, when we know somebody is going through something, just try to be compassionate, and, let's remember that we haven't always been who we are. It took time, it took change. It took people praying, it took people talking, it took people listening, it took people having compassion. So let us do the same thing. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed this segment.